Hello guys, welcome to Complete Sports on Alive TV. My name is Michael Obasi. On this show today, we shall be concentrating on the performance of Nigerian teams on the continent. Unfortunately, Remo Stars have bid goodbye to the continent, but we've still got 3 Nigerian teams. How far can they go? From league defending champions Rivers United to Plateau United, not forgetting their Fonja Warriors, Kwara United, and we shall also be narrowing down on the Super Eagles 25-man squad that will be taking on Algeria in an international friendly. Which names are missing in that 25-man squad? Alex Iwobi, for me, arguably, is the most informed Nigerian player. How well can he perform in this friendly game? All of these and much more we shall be discussing with my guest after this time out. Welcome back on Alive Sports. Yes, indeed, my guest in the building is already here. I've got Abdul Kadri Adedapo, Radio Ascenso, sports journalist. Nice to have you on Complete Sports today.
Well, it's my pleasure, Michael Obasi. Good morning.
Thank you so much. So much is going on. Let's take a look at the Nigerian teams on the continent. I know you've been following them.
Definitely.
Remo Stars, I thought they would be the team that would go all the way, but they had a good advantage from the first leg. But what happened in Ikene?
Well, it was unfortunate for Remo Stars against a very experienced side, former champions of the Confederations, talking about Asfar, a team from Rabat. When they went to the first leg, getting a massive draw signaled what will be a very good season for them. And of course, you saw the euphoria before they left Nigeria in a private jet. They were well kitted, and they did what we see with professional teams outside the shores of Nigeria. On the field of play in the first leg, they got a draw, came back to Nigeria, chartered a private jet also, and then on the D-Day in Ikene, unfortunately, they couldn't do the magic. They had chances, Ojo, especially spawned plenty of chances in the first 45 minutes. But I think for Remo Stars, they celebrated the first leg too much and let the euphoria get into them, and they struggled in the second leg. You look at the fact that the coach also struggled. In the 10th minute, when Issa Ali was injured, that's where Remo Stars' problem started. They lacked creativity in the midfield, and then the final third, there was no cohesion. They were eager to score, and I think it really affected their chances. The goal they conceded was schoolboy errors from the defense, from a bit of miscommunication from the defenders, and they let in a goal. And you know the North Africans, when they score you, they are ready to do what they know how to do best. Football can be played at the other end of the field, and they come down to fall at the other end and ensure the referee give them plenty of time. For Remo, it's a learning curve. When the draw was made, we must be also realistic with ourselves. I don't think Remo Stars were fancied to go beyond the first round against Asfar.
But again, it was after that draw in Morocco.
Exactly.
We thought they could just go past this one and come back home and finish the job. But again, the inexperience came to play.
Well, I think not just inexperience. I think it's high time Nigerian Football Federation and the league management begin to ensure that when our teams are on the continent, they have the right psychologists. Because it goes beyond playing football. At some point in the Super Eagles, I think we used to have Robinson Okosu, and he did a yeoman's job with the national team. I think if Remo Stars had got maybe somebody who could psych them up and tell them, even if you won 2-0 away from home, the North Africans are very dangerous and they can come home and do havoc. And I think that's what happened for Remo. They lost the game yesterday on Sunday. They will take it. However, I think it's a big learning curve for the entire Remo Stars management, not just the team alone, that next year, if they go back to the continent, if they have this kind of draw, they can also learn from it.
Looking at other Nigerian teams on the continent, Rivers United, that's still very much there, Kwara United, Plateau United. But the challenge now is all these 3 teams, they've got North African opponents to contend with. Plateau United have their hands full against Esperance, Rivers United, Wydad. It's going to be very difficult for them. Which of these 3 teams do you think can go extra far in this tournament?
Well, I must be realistic. Judging from the fact of what I saw in the first leg for the Nigerian side, personally, I saw Kwara United play the first leg against their side, the AS Dunes, in the Confederations Cup, the Nigerian side. The first leg was good. They scored 3 goals in the first half. Yesterday, we also saw the theatrics of African football where they were spraying some blood for them before coming onto the field of play. But they were still able to hold their own. But I must be realistic. Against the Super Cup champions, RS Bekene, defending champions also of the Confederations Cup. It will be very, very difficult for them to go past that side. For Kwara, they can also dare to dream, but it will be very difficult for them. For the two other Nigerian side in the CAF Champions League, talking about champions Rivers United, who lost 1-0 to Watanga in their encounter, I will also say that their clash will also be very, very difficult.
But there's river money, there's Wike money.
Except if that will come into play for them.
Can Wike do what Oji did?
Maybe the governor should also take a cue from Remo Stars. Get a private a chartered flight to fly these players when they go for their away game. And when the North Africans come to Nigeria to play, take them to where you have mastered, not where they have mastered. Ensure you also play the politics of African football against them. If we're going to push CAF to take the game to 2 p.m. so that it can be very hot for them, I know, of course, now it's a very good weather for North Africa to come to Nigeria and play football. Ensure we have the advantage when we go into this game, because obviously our teams will play first. Will play the first leg first. So it is possible for Rivers United, because of they have a good backing. They just came back from Spain in a preseason tour. If they can put that into form, and they've got a fantastic bench. Nobody has Stanley Oguma and Fatai Osho, and then you begin to say you have a struggling team. So if
Stanley Oguma,
he's been there, he's seen everything in River State, from the Sharks, Dolphins, and now to Rivers United. The man knows the team. So if they can also incentivize the players, why not? With good money, promise some players $20,000 for a win away from home. Those guys will go there and ensure that Rivers United are in the group stage of the Champions League.
I wish all the teams the very best of luck going forward. Though it's going to be an opulent task for the 3 Nigerian teams remaining on the continent. But again, if Imba can do it with the monies from Abia State and the support from the governor, then Ojuzo Kalu, who say Wike cannot do it. But again, let's go to the national team, Radio Asensio. 25-man squad has been released by Jose Pesero. Madikoko is back into the team. Woni is back in the team. What is your take on that squad?
Well, I had my reservations with the 25-man team. First and foremost, it's a friendly game against Algeria in Oran. We've not qualified for the World Cup, which means going into this kind of game, we should also use that avenue to retire the aging players. There is no sense in it that some of the players that have been called up will be with the Super Eagles in the next AFCON in 2024. The AFCON is not next year, so we're gonna have one more this season and another European season for these players to then come and play for the national team at the African Cup of Nations. For me, I think we should have used this. Pesero should have used this as an avenue to also test new players. Realistically, it looks like Nigeria is still struggling to find goalkeepers, because in 2022, if we don't have a goalkeeper that's a first choice or a regular, let me just take away first choice, a regular at a club side in Europe, then there's a problem with our national team.
Okay.
Maduka Okoye this season has been only in goal once in the EFL Cup, that's the Carabao Cup for Watford, since he made that move from Holland. For Francis Uzo, one appearance also in the Europa Conference League, where, of course, it was the first appearance. The goalkeeper Fabinho was injured. Then he came in at halftime and also considered twice in that game. And then Adewale Adeyinka, we also know that he's a fantastic goalkeeper. We'll see what he's doing with Kwara United. But will Pesero trust him to start? I think already hangs a big question mark. We have a goalkeeper in Israel who is playing regularly. These are friendly games where you need to, that's Adele, where you need to invite him for such a game. But the handlers, where they say they know best, so we'll leave it for them. Then you go to the defense line, Michael. There's a whole lot of problem. You look at William Troost-Ekong, Leon Balogun. Now, Watford have played, 11 games in all competition this season, and Ekong has only been able to start 2, including the last weekend. And then 1 was in the league, 1 was in the cup, and then 1 off the bench in a 16-minute cameo appearance. For Balogun, since he's moved to, of course, QPR, a handful of invitation, but he's injured, so he's been replaced in the team already by another player who I feel is also coming back from injury. Valentine Ozonowanfo, the former Flying Eagles player and Enyimba player. He's young, he plays in the League 2 with Sochaux. However, you look at him and then you also add 4 appearances this season in 9 games, coming back from an injury. I think we should have allowed home-based players also. Tosin Adebite, the under 20 boy who plays for Enyimba, fantastic centre-back. If he plays with the experience, he will grow. And that's how you also help the league grow. If you don't put players from the league, how do you expect it to grow? It's not a qualifying match. It's a friendly match against Algeria, who have also not gone to the World Cup. So they'll also be trying to test few players in their might. You look at the midfield also, very, very slim. Again, like I always say, the Super Eagles is like a copy of the England national team, where you have a 25-man squad, you could have 9 defenders, 5 midfielders, and the rest are attackers. We are going into a friendly match. We have midfielders scattered across, but we have just 5 midfielders in our team. Alex will be playing the best football of his life. Maybe anybody would disagree, but I think he's the best Nigerian player out there in Europe. Including those who are scoring goals, Iwobi has been reborn, and I hope he brings it also to the national team.
I tell you, it has been a very incisive one, a very exciting one, talking sports with the Radio Asensio. I'm looking forward to what Iwobi will do in the national team. Like what Radio Asensio did say, he's a reborn player right about now for Everton under Frank Lampard. Kudos to Lampard. But again, a lot of concern about our players in terms of how much they're playing, especially in the goalkeeping. And I also totally agree with him. We need more home-based players in the national team. No matter the quality of players, the Samba boys, the Seleção have got in Europe, it will always have a place for a player in the Brazilian league. I think that is where we should adopt our own style. No matter what, no matter the quality of players we've got abroad, we should be having home-based players being part of the national team. Thank you so much, Radio Asensio, for being part of Complete Sports today.
It's a pleasure, Michael Obasi.
That has been Complete Sports on Alive TV. My name is Michael Obasi. Let's do this again next time. Bye for now.